Drink till I'm drunk, smoke till I'm high, castle on the hill, pick up in the sky, you can't tell me I'm fly.
What are you working on?
I'm turning one of my Discord posts into a video. One of my pith instructions for the CC bootcamp is to start a log, like a training log. It's the first time I actually kept a diary. Last night, my intention for the bardo was simple enough. Take me to the deepest regions of hell. It's part of the Inner Franken show, but it's basically just my weekend. Partying in hell without suffering, I learned, felt like heaven. It is a true sign of realization fitness. Other people just mostly write about their meditation sits, their yogic maneuvers, but I mostly just write about life, relating with people and seeing the inseparable dance between like nirvana and samsara, between like karma and dharma.
This poem is called Starry Mood. It's associated with a quote from Nisargadatta Maharaj. The quote is this: "It is not the right advice that liberates, but the action based on it."
I don't think I've been working out more than usual, but for some reason, I'm like super jacked right now. I think it's all the empowerment that I've been receiving from our mentors. Yeah, we talk about like physical fitness and how that's inseparable from like realization fitness and everything. Yeah. After the Saturday weekly review for the CC bootcamp, it felt like I was peaking. So we decided to go all out that night and test my gains. My intention for this bardo is to descend into the deepest region of hell, where eating the afflictions of sentient beings allows one to turn karma into dharma. There are beautiful singers from Brooklyn with voices shimmering through the air like broken light on water. For a brief moment, I was in New York again, somewhere between the sounds of silence and the echoes of busy street. As the night unfolded, I began dissolving into others, slipping in and out of skins and sense organs. While bending the six sense spheres, I aggregated as all sentient beings there through form, feeling, perception, consciousness, and fabrication. Yoking into the band, I was myself feeling them and them feeling themselves, both and neither. The music had triggered memories of my biological father and my mom's boyfriend, who insists that I call him Dad. Both dads held the belief that desire will never let you go, even if you age closer to death. Apparently, my father would hire maids from Vietnam and Thailand to give my grandfather a hand job even right before he passed in 99. Dad lives in a nursing home with his 100-year-old mother. A caretaker there said that one of her job description was to help the elderly fulfill whatever their bodies still desire for. Sometimes she would gently pile their fragile bodies on top of each other whenever they needed to make love, no different in her mind than handing them urinals whenever they have to piss, and separate them again when that moment had passed. Years of contemplative practice had taught me that you can desire without suffering. Pure desire is the fundamental fabric of the cosmos. It's what makes the sun rise and fall, the flowers bloom, the Big Bang Bang, and it's what's perceiving this video through your eyes and what fuels me to record this voiceover.
This is quality.
Throughout the night, we crossed paths with several old men. One was half homeless, with eyes like weather glass, and loved partying with beautiful women, and fencing himself as a...
I'm a politician. I want to tell you about a video. I'm going to you to look at a video.
He would disappear into the bathroom to and moan with his AI girlfriend, then stumbled out, radiant and ridiculous. At some point, I found myself behind him, hands on his waist, guiding him gently, as we were improvising gravity itself. The contact improv that I practiced that morning for the first time with G found its place under the neon lights, weaving us through the invisible chasm between separation and non-separation. Then the inside Chung Hong, a scholar from the Contemplative CrossFit Pandita team, about how Dharma is lame really hit home.
Look up this guy.
Modern psychology, phenomenology, and cognitive science shows that while they are not speaking the same language as Yogacara, they wrestle with strikingly similar tensions. What is carried forward unconsciously? How does it surface? How do appearances arise? Why do they so often mislead? And how can patterns of suffering be shifted into patterns of freedom? Any quick thoughts from you, Chunong?
One critical missing puzzle in the entire Yogacara model is its relationship with incarnate biology. Let's say if I look at a girl, I'm attracted to her. Is that because of the seeds and imprints of the alaya consciousness, or is it also my biology my hormones, right? Let's say if I'm incarnated in a different form with a different biology, that seeds would have a different reaction. The Yogacara philosophers, they were actually very deep meditators. The Alaya consciousness, the seven consciousness is something that they are able to discern, and because you're able to see how the different layers of consciousness just delaminate or some form of perceptual shifts. What I want to caution here is two extremes. Basically reifying Yogacara as this ultimate thing. And the other extreme is to go all the way and say that, no, these are all just my brain. So it's very easy to fall into either extreme.
What's on your mind?
Nothing.
You are beyond all extremes, but for reals, Dharma is lame. You should go to the studio whenever you feel freaky, being in there raving, acting crazy, and finding any excuse to act ratchet, and I'm gonna be wilding. So we went to the studio and it was organic. Everybody was in the studio vibing, getting it right while looking fly. And we had homies over, females getting lit. I had fun that night making the record, and I think everybody else gonna have fun listening to it.
I got white girls blushing, homie. Cottage girls rushing on me. All my diamonds custom, so they clutching and they touching on me. Back is vegetables.
Like the shirt you got.
It's incredible. Smell like fun. Number 99, section full of fine dimes. Bitches staring at me saying, wow.
The context about training of resting, recognizing. Resting is a kind of an anti-exertion exertion. It's a fitness to stay with the discomfort, to stay with the conditionings or contractions or the resistance, and then recognize how the conditioning is none other than the unconditioned. And resting and recognizing ultimately emerges one singularity. After the music show, we went home and I showed G one of my favorite albums of all time. Jay Chou's third EP, 8th Dimension, released on July 18, 2002. This album is known for its significant commercial success, helping to prepare Cho into stardom in Taiwan with his unique R&B sound, characteristic mumbling vocals, and imagery-rich songs, many featuring lyrics by frequent collaborator and poet Vincent Fan. For more than 2 decades, the songs from this album are still replaying on repeat in the teenage dream cabinet deep in the recess of my mind. It is so great to feel like a teenager again. My favorite tracks are number 2, 半岛铁盒, number 7, Grandpa's Tea, or 爷爷泡的茶. And track number 8, Go Back to the Past, 回到过去. G cried, not because the songs were sad, and I assured her that they were, and even showed her the English translation on YouTube, but because of something else like entropy. The beauty of impermanence had found its way into her bloodstream.
It will vanish.
You just gotta tighten up again. 2 days earlier, she had spent nearly 48 hours organizing and cleaning her brand new apartment after reading The Life-Changing Magic of Tightening Up, the Japanese art of decluttering and organizing by...
Hi, I'm Marie Kondo. I'm so excited to introduce my tidying course.
She folded her clothes into neat origami, whispered thank yous to the object that she discarded, and she seemed for a moment to believe in order. But order, I assured us, codependent arises with chaos. Nevertheless, one night of living, thinking, touching, breathing, and desiring was enough to undo it all. The place became a landscape of proliferations, cups half full of forgotten protein shakes, slippers adrift under the bed, clothes blooming on the floor like the kaleidoscopically mutated flowers in the movie
Annihilation. Unfathomable mind.
I told G we'll spend Sunday morning tidying up again, but she was still asleep. Sleep, like a quiet kind of diarrhea with a will of its own, seeped slowly into the pillow. How many dreams it had absorbed over the years. How so many fragments of love stories and heartbreaks were still floating somewhere inside its fabric. Maybe every mattress is a museum of forgotten nights. So I left her there and walked into the cafe to update my Discord training log on Sunday, 6:14 a.m. And also to catch up on some of the acolytes' training logs. Are they yoking into the transmissions? Are they coming as they are? And paying homage to their afflictions? While typing furiously on my laptop, I was wearing my Nike 24.7 Perfect Stretch Impossibly Soft Men's Dry-Fit UV Loose Fit Utility Pants in Royal Blue and the Dry-Fit Crew in Mystic Red, both size M. There's this thing called B.D.S.M. It's Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and M means modernity. We could also mean marriage. It could also mean machine or money, or mating, or maestro. Traditionally, you have the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, but we added the M, incorporate modernity into our practice so much that the Dharma actually disappears. It would be the end of Dharma because the distinction between Dharma and the world or modernity completely collapsed. So it becomes an invisible monastery 24/7. You're not running away from modernity, but that takes a lot of fitness. Anyway, I got an announcement to make real quick before we go. Yeah, so far, we have Jace, Chung-Hong, Manuel, Juan, Brian, Albert, Raymond, Will, and Adrian purchased the Nike 24.7 all impossibly soft sweater. My goal of this call is to get everyone to buy this Nike sweater.
You gotta get Nike to pay you, Frank.
And let me tell you, these are the most comfortable pieces of clothing I've ever worn. The perfect wear for the contemplative lifestyle. Clothing that causes a loop between on and off the cushion practice, mind, body, and life training. The impossibly soft fabric is made for all-day motion, even while you're completely still.
I'm feeling something right in here.
You're sold. One more. Right there, right?
Frank's not just a salesman. He's not just a salesman.
I'm not just a salesman, bro. I give transmissions through Nikes, bro. No wonder my transmission was so powerful today. The meaning of the sweater has been etched onto the transmission the moment I started talking about it. And the causal loop continuously reinforces itself the more transmission has been received and given simultaneously through, with, and as it. Like, I could literally feel like the fiber, like bzzz. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the link is in my log. Coming next week, Fire Element, you're gonna need it, bro. Yeah, they don't commit. Outside the church, the security guard was already up. Something about his quiet diligence and a sense of nobility made my chest tingle with anticipation. It made me so happy to think about returning to work on Monday morning, as if even the routine could be its own kind of prayer. This afternoon, me and G swam in the river naked. It was the first time I've ever done something like this. We did 3 rounds of Wim Hof, breathing in the freezing water. And it's very cleansing and replenishing to the soul. Afterwards, it felt like I had ran a mile. And then we're staring into the sun with our eyes half open and half closed. Feeling extra sensual and sexy lately. The first time I ever tried to rap.
You're so pretty.
I know. After some time had passed, me and G celebrated our shared birthday. Probably the most elaborated birthday gift exchange in my whole life.
Me too.
Hello, this is a collection of poems, a portal into this, an artifact that's found you floating in the stream. A lucky charm if you want it to be, an object for dissolving notions of solid objectivity.
This poem is called Starry Mood. You demand a love expressed in action. You demand it from every angle of my being. You demand a love that surpasses idealization, a love so solid that it breaks down the fibers of my body to rebuild them and forges my flesh into power. The same power that illumines the night sky, flies the butterflies, bustles the streets, and writes the poems. The love you deserve surpasses poetic notions. It transcends philosophical fancies. It is a love of follow-through. You present the fire to me, the purification I say I crave, and I walk into the flames because your love demands a victory over every fear. And in my love, I grow willing to walk into the heat. Your love is the nature that slithers the snake from its shedding skin. It's the gravity that coaxes a flower into all the angles of its blossoming. It's the will that grits its teeth in the last stretch of the marathon and runs faster. It's the inspiration that exhales sculpture from clay. The love you demand finds truth in all your dreams, and the love you deserve brings forth a harvest of dreams that burn bright with the truth that you found. Sweet dreams that light up the eternal night with their suchness, resting in a ruthlessly starry mood.